Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Coding Conversations. How you doing, man?
Hey, I've been all right, man. How you been?
I've been good. I've been good. Just got off work officially this time.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm ready for the weekend. I'm ready for the
Yeah,
weekend.
same here.
Any
So,
plans?
man, nothing in stone yet, man. Might just go out and get something to eat. What
Yeah.
about you?
Uh, Nothing in stone. I'm thinking about making. I'm thinking about making some new recipe. I got this cookbook that I bought called Fitman Cook, and
Oh,
it's got like a bunch of different. Hello, Kevin, you there?
I think you are.
I think you froze.
Okay, should be
Okay.
back, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're back. Okay.
Okay.
Um, but I was saying, yeah, I just got this cookbook and it's pretty cool. It's called Fitman Cook, and they've got like a bunch of different recipes for like fish and beef and chicken and stuff. So I'll probably just pop that open and see what I can come up with. I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you posted.
Okay. Yeah, I might do
Yeah.
some grilling this weekend, even though it's kind of cooling down. But that's my thing there.
Yeah. Yeah. Weather over here is crazy right now. Like these past couple of days have been super foggy. I mean, like you ever seen those horror movies where
Like
like
Silent Hill or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, super foggy. It's ridiculous. It's in the morning and at night.
Yeah, it seems
Uh,
like y'all are starting to get the bipolar weather. Like Texas is pretty much known for it. Like be
yeah,
cold one day, next day hot, or kind
yeah,
of unpredictable.
yeah. You got to start like carrying just like umbrellas and like jackets, sweaters, jackets, and stuff in your car just in case it just
Mm,
jumps up and starts raining or drizzling. Yeah,
exactly.
California's weird.
Yeah, I mean it's been like that out here for a while too. So yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. How's your job been? Have they been overworking you or?
No, it's real chill. Job is chill. Like I can't complain. Um, still looking for that new start, which will be nice. Got another interview on Tuesday next week. But I'm a little nervous because like this level that they're interviewing me for is like the software engineer level 3, right?
Right.
I don't know what level I'm at right now, but I don't know if I'm at a level 3. Well, we'll see. Um, but again, like I spoke to the recruiter and she seemed pretty chill, and she even said like, if we like you, we'll try to find a position like for you. So
Hmm.
even though we say like SC level 3 or whatever, it's more like we them as the company. She said that they give you all of these 4 years of experience. You need to know this, and this, and this, and this. And she says, like, we get a lot of boot camp engineers and like entry levels that apply, and if they don't put those high requirements, then she said basically the high requirements are there to like scare away
Like,
newbies.
okay, so they don't want to sort through them. They kind of want somebody who can hit the ground running.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, like you've been saying for forever. So yeah, so that's next week. Gonna be studying hard for that in the next couple of days. Um, but I'm more so focused on like the company culture, right? Like
Right.
is the like right now where I'm at is cool. The company culture is cool. Like we have an office party coming up in December that's probably gonna be pretty chill. Um, but I don't want to get into a company that has like a toxic environment where like people are micromanaging you
Right.
and all this other crazy stuff that I've been hearing that's been going on like with Activision, right? Um, you know, I would think that like cultures like what's going on with Activision with that bro culture, right? It's hard to get in. Like either you fit in from the jump, or you have to work your way in, right?
Right.
Or you're just out of the loop. And I don't know if you ever worked for a company like that where like you could tell who was favored, or if people were favored.
You know, usually people that can kind of kiss up to the boss, you know what I mean? They get favored. But you know, like at Activision, a lot of those companies, they start with a bunch of guys in the garage, and you know, they end up making a game. And and you know, it's kind of like a bunch of homeboys chilling together, and you know, they carry that culture into the corporate environment, which you can't necessarily do.
Yeah, there's companies that try to do that, and it works, right? But you can definitely tell like this who's in the inner circle. Like there's clearly employees, and then there's like that inner circle. He's been here since day one.
Yeah.
He has free reign, and you just, I don't know. You can just tell, at least in my personal experience, you can tell who likes who. And like it's almost like when you talk to somebody and you like, they call it code switching, right? Talk to one person a certain way, and then you might talk to that same person, or somebody else might talk to that same person, and the way that they talk to each other is completely different. I think there's a lot of that. The higher that you go up, and or potentially maybe there's just certain companies that have that type of environment that I want to stay away from. So
yeah, I've heard Activision like is really a wild place to work at. I don't know if you could pull up an article.
Oh yeah, let me pull up an article real quick.
Apparently, I think it was like claims of sexual harassment and all that kind of stuff.
Share screen. Yeah, man. So I pulled up this article on The Verge, and yeah, they got a lot more going on than just like, this is October, right? They got a lot more going on than just the sexual harassment stuff.
Right.
Let me see if I can pull up the other one.
But yeah, man, sometimes it seems like really prevalent with these gaming companies. Sometimes they just do some off the wall stuff as well. Like you remember like when God of War 2 released, they threw a party and they had like dead goats there.
What?
Yeah, man.
I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah. Look that up.
God of War
2 party, dead goats.
Dead goats party. What? Is this real?
Yeah,
yes, that actually happened. Public relations department have a tough job. Get people talking about your game. Some companies stick to the well-known TV billboards, sending out copies. This is exclusive, mind you. Take, for example, God of War 2. It's easy to imagine a suitably risque event that tried to capture those events in a party-like atmosphere, dragging forth a literal dead goat. Wow.
What? Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
That's ridiculous. That's crazy. At the events, guests competed who could eat the most offal procured elsewhere, and intended to resemble the goat's intestines from its stomach. They also threw knives at targets and pulled live snakes from a pit with their bare head. Nah, I'm good. Topless girls added to the. Oh, so they try to make it. I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to make the party God of War themed.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
Ancient Greece or something, but they kind of went overboard with the.
That's
the
a
dead
little.
goat.
That's a little too much. Yeah, that's a little intense. That's wow. Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes these you got to know when to dial it back. Like, oh, I'm doing a little too much.
Yeah. And like, how do you Cosby Suite. Yeah, that's what it was. Developers Cosby Suite. This was the Cosby Suite was apparently like this place that these like the fraternity like developers would sort of invite girls back to and like just do whatever. Employees walk out of Blizzard today over alleged allegations of constant sexual harassment and workplace discrimination and how poorly they felt the company responded.
Didn't they like share like naked pictures of the girls that work there or something like that?
I'm not sure. I didn't get that deep into it. All I know is that they were sexually harassed back in 2013. Wow, it's just now coming back 8 years later.
Yeah, kind of crazy. It takes that long to come to light, but
you're right.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to kind of feel for the women that work at some of these companies. I mean,
yeah.
If this is kind of like if this has been going on,
for 8 years and it's in silence, right?
Right.
I can only imagine like it's worse because if the CEO or CTO or any higher ups or especially like HR, if they're a part of that inner circle, that boys club, then they're protected, right? The boys are protected because like it's almost like if you corner the market, who's going to stop you, right? Who's going to stop them from doing what they're doing?
Right.
Like you can't go to HR because HR is that's their homeboy, so no one's going to stop them at that point.
Yeah. Like the only solution is either you have a whistleblower or you quit the company.
Right.
But a lot of people just end up getting pressured into doing stuff that they don't want to do. Like
right. Dang. What does it say? Baller, see you at the show this weekend. Well done, Rob. Day 0 of preparations made. Cosby Suite in effect. You know what's
yeah, the fact that they got a picture of Bill Cosby is like
yeah.
Like what message are they trying to send?
Right. Yeah. Like I get it. It might be an inside joke, but that joke.
Yeah, I mean that's not really
shouldn't have gotten out. It shouldn't have gotten out.
I mean, like to me, I don't even think they should have made that. Like Cosby was accused of rape, so what are they saying?
yeah, exactly. Like what kind of environment are they? Are they?
Yeah, are they creating at work?
Creating at work, yeah, exactly. Right, like how do you're not making a safe work environment for people, and then
right.
A lot of these companies are like fighting. Well, some companies are fighting for people to come back into the office, but if the office is like this, I'd stay working remote as long as I can.
Right. I mean, you also got to think like, what kind of mentality are they even teaching the people that play these games? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like what kind of messages are they sending through the actual video game?
Yeah, like it's okay to be this way.
Right.
So and so made this game, and this is how they are. So it's okay for me to act that same way. Yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah, one thing about the video game industry that's kind of like just a widespread practice is like those insane workouts. Much why I don't really have any desire to get into that industry.
Yeah. Like I understand that it takes hours, right, to troubleshoot games in QA and make everything sort of perfect and bug free. And like that's why if a game comes out buggy or like incomplete, I'd rather not talk smack about it, because I'm as a developer, I can't imagine what those other devs are going through, like especially knowing that a deadline is coming up. And it like with Cyberpunk 2077, right? They were working mad hours to get this out the door, and it's not like you could push back that release date. Like you can keep pushing it back, right? But then the investors like that are putting money towards this game, they want to release it to make their money back. And
exactly.
It's like it's almost like if you get into that type of industry, just expect to be overworked. Like look at over in the East, right? Like they have a word for it. What was it you said?
It's like 996. So you work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Yep. That's they say if I don't do it, somebody else will.
Mm-hmm.
But what also goes on in China is certain workplaces, they have to install like suicide nets because people just jump windows. So like work-life balance has to exist somewhere, man.
Yeah. You that's my whole thing. Is like whenever somebody asks me, what do you look for? Work-life balance. Like I want to be able to say like, okay, I'm done. Like at the beginning of this podcast, I'm off work. Like I'm not responding to no messages, anything. I'm not pushing any code over the weekend. It'll go live Monday. I'm done. Like I want to enjoy my weekend, and like I can't. Like even with the whole 996 thing, I can't imagine like what is it, 996? Okay, so what if it takes you an hour to get to work? You got to leave at 8:00 or at least like 7:30. So you let's say it takes you an hour to get back home. So you get home at 10, then you have to eat. So you get to bed by 10:30. That's like
they're pretty much just working. They got like one day for themselves, which is Sunday.
Yeah.
So you can. It's just like insane. Like South Korea is kind of like that too, and
really,
especially their school systems. Like after a lot of these kids get out of school, they go to the second school. I think it's called like a Hagwon or something. It's like an after school. And it's just like nonstop studying. Like, have you heard of that show Squid Games?
I have. Yeah, I have.
It's kind of like, I guess, what is it, like Battle Royale or Hunger Games?
My sister, I haven't seen it. My sister has seen it. She says it's more like Hunger Games.
Yeah, they say the Korean students or the Korean youth, they say it kind of feels like that over there because like the competition is so intense that and nobody's really getting ahead. You have to do all of this studying, and then when you get to work, just working nonstop. So it looks good like on paper, like Korean GDP is excellent, and they're making all these new products. But is it worth it when the population isn't happy?
Right. That's the key, right? Is it worth it? I think that's a good topic, right? Like, is it worth it, right? Like, let's say you're working at like any company, right? And you're passionate about. If I'm passionate about streaming, right, and I want to work at Netflix or Funimation or wherever, like, is the hours that I'm gonna be putting in worth is the money that I'm gonna earn worth the amount of stress that I'm gonna be put under if I'm on a call, if something breaks and it's my fault. Like, there's more to a job than just like that title, because once that with that title comes responsibilities. So like, big number again, like just bringing it back to like the whole GDP and Eastern culture. Is being number one worth it if you're unhappy? Like, as much work as I'd rather be. I was a C student personally. I did the bare minimum to just get a passing grade, and that was my thing. Okay,
right.
I'm good. Like, but any more work was just like nah. I didn't want to put in that extra mile to make it.
Right. And I think it's worth it if you have a plan. Like, okay, this can't be my whole life, but I can do this for a couple of years. They're compensating me really well. I'm gonna take that and do something with it. That's that's kind of like one of the reasons we got this podcast going. We're trying to get out of that single source of income.
Yeah, to just or more so just to expand. Like, let's say I get into game dev, and I get into full-time catering or cooking or whatever, but these topics I feel like are good because I didn't hear about this whole GDP thing until I heard about it from you. I didn't hear about like I heard a little bit about the Blizzard and Activision stuff, but it's just discussing these type of things makes you think like, okay, well, if I was to leave tech or if I was to do something different, what would I do? And just give you something to think about. It gives me something to think about personally.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people burn out at tech. You know, after 5 to 10 years, it's just such a grind, like nonstop learning. They feel like they don't have time to spend with their family and all of that stuff. So, you know, if you don't really love this industry, you know, I'm not gonna really recommend you just jump in like that without thinking about what you're doing.
Yeah, you have to think about what you're doing, definitely. But that's with anything, right? It's like you have to think about, like, okay, what are the repercussions of me doing X? What are the repercussions of me doing Y? And when you really get into like, okay, well, why do I want this? And then why do I want that? And you dig deep enough, instead of sort of living by that impulse, I feel like when you start asking yourself why, you gain a better understanding of who you are. And just like with like for example, if I'm hungry or if I'm more like if I'm checking my phone impulsively, right? And I ask myself, well, okay, what am I looking for? Why am I checking my phone, right? And like, why am I looking for a distraction? And I would ask myself all these like different like why this and why this and why this and why this and why this, and then eventually I'll get to that root cause of the why and solve it, whatever that root cause may be, and it'll by having that understanding or looking at that one thing, I feel like I understand myself better than just sort of living day to day and just doing things because without actually thinking. Right. It's people that it's almost like people that say, I want to work at a top company, right? I want to work at Disney, or I want to work at Activision, or I want to work at Blizzard, or whatever. Why? Because of the name. They only see the name. They don't care about the other things that may come along with it.
Right.
Or like having a fancy car, like that too.
Yeah. Like man, I just kind of want to start these multiple streams of income, man, because I don't want to, you know, when you get taken advantage of is when you're kind of in a situation of desperation. That's when you get lowballed and you get worked all of these extra hours and not get compensated. One of my friends, you know, I come from Killeen. That's kind of like a small town in Texas by Fort Hood, you know, the military base. Well, they don't have good jobs there. So all of the jobs there, you know, you're not going to make a lot of money. And so therefore, they can kind of treat you like trash.
Right.
So one of my friends, he recently just got a new job, but the prior job he had, he hated it. He told me a story, like one time he was talking to like one of the managers there.
Yeah.
And the manager literally said to him, like, yeah, we're looking for desperate people. We don't want people that can just like up and leave.
Wow.
So some of these companies, they actually like prey on people who don't have many choices because, you know, like if you've worked at fast food, right?
Yeah, I worked at McDonald's.
Yeah, me too. And they treat you like trash there.
Yeah, because they have you're disposable.
Right.
Unfortunately, right? You like if you have this long list of applicants, right? You can just like, okay, well, somebody burns out, somebody doesn't come into work, okay, they're fired and move on, pick somebody else up. Right. They'll bring you on and do the same thing. The burn rate is so, I can't imagine what the burn rate is, especially nowadays, right?
Yeah, when I was working, people would literally just walk out like in the middle of a shift, like I can't do this anymore, and just walk out.
Yeah, like I used to do it just to have like a paycheck, and you know, those days I was like, man, like I'm too smart for this. Like I shouldn't be here. Like I need to do something more. But I feel like not everybody thinks that, or not everybody has that opportunity, right? Or, you know, because some people maybe they might not have that education to take them to that next level, or they don't see the bigger picture. They only see, okay, every 2 weeks I make $325. Like, okay, at the end of the month I'm going to have, what is that? That's $650, like $1,300, right? Okay, my rent is this much. You know, like they just see the day-to-day tasks of, okay, do this to get this, and then they don't see the why. Like, I'm not trying to go back to that whole why thing, but it's like, okay, well, why am I doing this?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to leverage, man. Like, if you don't have any leverage, you're gonna get taken advantage of. So, you know, it's kind of like why, you know, a lot of these coders who get into this industry, they want, like, man, why do I have to go through like 10 interviews? Because, you know, so many people are trying to get into the industry because it's the so-called hot industry that they can make you jump through hoops.
Yeah, so they can make you do whatever.
So as this industry becomes like more saturated, I know like the treatment is going to start going down, the treatment and the compensation. So, you know, me thinking ahead, it's like, okay, I love doing this, but I also had to start thinking about a potential exit strategy because, you know, I'm not going to do what I'm doing now for like half the compensation. You know, I'm not trying to work, you know, move backwards, because you remember when it was when this industry really started exploding, they treated you like a rock star.
Yeah.
But like, you know, but now it's more so, it's like, you know, they just treat you like a regular employee now because they have you know, a wider field of candidates to choose from. So it's kind of like, you know, if you have leverage, you get treated a lot better, but if you don't, you get treated like trash. So that, to me, that's the key.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I told you, man. Like, don't go off and buy an expensive car. You know, save your money, because you want to have the ability to just be able to walk off of your job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. Like today, my boss. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, today my boss was talking to me about like, hey, you know, are you gonna move, right? Because we were talking about, like, you know, Cali and LA life is that kind of expensive. You know, where would I move? And like with work from home being, because he was saying like the company that I'm at now, we might not come back to the office. Like, work from home might be the new normal.
Yeah.
Like permanent, right? So, you know, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, well, if I could move, right, where would I go, right? If I have that type of freedom, or if I had not just where would I move, but if I had the freedom of just not working again, like, what would I do, and where would I go? And man, like that, it's almost too good to be true, I guess you could say. It's like you were saying, like with these tech jobs, and you make all this money and like stay in the game for as long as you can, save up as much as you can, and then become financially free.
Right.
Because like eventually the money may or may not dry out, but things are going to change. Life is going to change. So, yeah, man, it just makes you think, like, okay, you know, I'm making this salary and I'm doing this, but like, what kind of options do I have, right?
Yeah.
I want to build up my options to be able to say, okay, you know what, I'm out, I'm done, right? Like, I can get treated better someplace else, and I can have a new job in a month or 2 weeks or whatever. Like, when you have those options of people knocking on your door, like, hey, we got this job offer and we're offering this and that and the other thing, like, if you want to switch and you have that option, go for it.
Right.
It's like, there's one dude that I know on LinkedIn, and he's like, I never apply to jobs. Like, recruiters are just always hitting me up. Like, I never have to look for it. And it's like, man, like, that's how you know you're hot.
Yeah. Well, once you get around 5 years of experience, man, you get flooded like with offers, man. Like, I have to spend a lot of time telling people, you know, you want to be nice to the recruiters because they're presenting the opportunity to you, but you know, you start getting sick of saying like, oh yeah, I'm not looking for a job right now. So it's a good position to be at, you know, but you know, you always gotta, it's kind of like chess. If you don't continually plan and stay ahead, you know, you're eventually going to get checkmated. So I'm trying to avoid that. So it's nice now, but is it going to be like that 10 years from now? I think the software industry has a lot of opportunities, man. But I just feel like if you're just working for a salary, you're never really going to get ahead, because it seems like no matter what you do, the price of things just starts shooting up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like with the gas right now, gas is pretty. At least over here, gas is like $4.79 a gallon, something like that.
right.
It keeps fluctuating, right? Like, and what was
How much are houses out there?
I don't know the exact price, but we can look it up.
Yeah, let's look up Los Angeles. Like I'm guessing probably like 700, 800,000 for something decent.
3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,500 square feet, 849,950. Dang,
1 million almost.
That's crazy.
Like, you see that house that's like 745,000. Can you click on it? That don't even look like that's like a little shack.
Yeah, ain't nothing special.
And that's a quarter, 3/4 of a million for that. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
you're earning 6 figures just to live in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
That's kind of like, I think like a big part of it is learning how to get in early, because people that bought these houses early when they were like probably like 50,000 or something, they just held on to it, and now they're selling for $1 million, and they probably gonna move like across the country somewhere else and buy a big mansion with that. It's just all about getting in early, man. Look at who made all the money on like cryptocurrency.
But that's all a risk. The crypto is a big risk, right? Like with I don't know if we talked about. I think we talked about this on the last podcast with the Squid Games crypto. Right? People were like jumping into that, and then it just tanked. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a pump and dump thing. Like those that get in early, they get all the benefit, and then everybody else kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, how can you own a home at those prices?
You just got to have liquid. You got to have that type of capital, right?
Like,
just throw it out there.
Click on the one that's like 849,000. Let's see how much. Like, they should tell you how much that is a month, like estimated.
3,600. Dang.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that. That's got to be more than that per month. That one actually looks pretty good though.
That's nice. It's nice, yeah.
Okay, yeah. To me, this one, relatively is worth it. That one looks way better than the other one.
Yeah.
Like if you scroll down a little bit, they kind of showed a price jump. Like out here, a lot of the houses, once that COVID came in, houses jumped like 100, 200,000 in just like 6 months. Like they have like if you keep going down a little bit, they should have like a little bar graph. Okay, yeah, you go. So how much was it like in 2018?
600, 500. Oh, that's 116. 20, about 591.
Yeah, you see like 3 years later, it jumped like $300,000.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
So like years of your life, you're gonna have to spend like decades extra working just to pay an arbitrary jump off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember I just sent you that article where it says like what was it, like people over 77, like they're gonna have to re-enter the workforce. They're gonna be like 95% of them are going to still have to be working.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? That's nothing against older people working, right? Like that's great. To be independent and to be active, because my grandmother is 80 something, and unfortunately she's retired now. Congratulations, but she doesn't do anything. I never see her do anything. And to me, it's like, if you're gonna retire, like, you have to have a game plan, right? You can't just you can't just sit around doing nothing. Or maybe you enjoy that, but in my mind, I wouldn't enjoy sitting around doing nothing. So like it's cool, but if you're forced to do it, and like it's different when the roles are reversed, where like, okay, at that age you should be like retiring or retired,
right?
And then, but you can't because your house got to get paid, or or whatever.
Like to me, like, you know, have you heard about the ageism thing in tech? Like once you get past a certain age, it's harder and harder to get a job.
Yeah, so, I've heard of it.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, what about when we get like 60, 70, and you know what I mean? And we still have like 200,000 or 300,000 left on the house. Like, that's going to be crazy. Like,
I'm about to put something in crypto. You're making me think about crypto. I'm going to put something in stocks, crypto. Like, I can't.
Yeah, you have to be like business minded. You know what I mean? You have to do something that unties your income from the amount of hours you're working.
Yeah, we have to work towards financial freedom.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like once you break out of once you break out of the rat race, then your time is yours.
Right.
I think ultimately, like that's the goal.
Right? I don't feel like, you know, my version of retirement isn't just me like stop working. It's more so me working on what I want to work on. You know, like maybe I just want to make a game or something. I could just do that without having like, you know, the pressure of working at a game company.
Yep. Yeah.
What about you? What do you think you would do, like in your idea of retirement?
Man, I got a lot of books I want to catch up on. I want to learn how to play chess. But I know like that's like a game that takes like you could be playing for your entire life and still be learning.
Right.
I gotta have a side hustle. I gotta have some type of side hustle, whatever that is. I don't know, but maybe I'll pass on my knowledge in coding, right? If I retire from coding, like I gotta use my knowledge for something.
Right.
I might go back into TAing. Maybe I'll start a boot camp or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you know, you might be able to do that in a couple of years, man. Like, you know what I mean? Just have a little online school. I thought about it.
I just set up the curriculum and teach them, you know, the right way versus trying to cram everything into 6 months or 3 months. Like that's a little intense.
Yeah.
It's tough. I can't imagine. Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff, you know, the boot camps, they don't really teach these students, like, you know, about how to work in corporate America. So you know, that's something that I probably wouldn't mind, like, you know, showing them like, don't do this, or you know,
you lead them the correct way. Like if you want to get into coding, like these are things that you need to know. Yeah,
right.
That may be cool.
But yeah, those housing prices are tripping me out, man.
Yeah, I don't even bother looking at buying a house right now. Like I need to get my income right before. Don't get me wrong; these houses look nice, but my wallet hurts every time I look at the prices.
You know, it's kind of crazy. Like our parents, and they were homeowners like in their 20s, but you know, due to inflation, like I'm almost 40, and I don't own a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But imagine the down payment if you have to pay $20,000 on $1 million house. What is that like? 10% is 100,000. 20% is 200,000. So
you got 200,000 laying around.
Right, exactly.
It's like, man. Then you mix in like kids and stuff into the mix.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah, how do you make it? You know what I mean?
Right. You gotta be smart. You gotta look for that next come up. But it can't be quick. I think a lot of people in our community, they want it fast. They want it quick, they want it fast, and they don't think about, like, you know, fast money, you know, comes fast and goes fast. So
Right.
Don't think about it as like I'm trying to make this money fast. Like think about like, okay, you made something and it wasn't fast, but how can you flip this money? Meaning like, okay, you made $1,800 every 2 weeks. How do you turn that 1,800, or how do you turn, let's say you can save 500 of that. How do you turn that $500 that you save every 2 weeks into something more? Where do you put it?
Right. I mean, you could do investments, or and that pretty much opened up the game, man. Like, if you could build up a big audience, then that's where you can really profit. Say we got like 1 million people watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you could just get every one of those to send you $1, that's like $1 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or like Patreon, right?
Right.
You get Patreon followers, and they subscribe to you, and yeah, no, I see it.
It's like, hey, we really like your show. Y'all have any merchandise? Okay, yeah, we got these shirts,
Mm.
And once you really get a bunch of followers, you can start leveraging that into other things. Like companies will approach you, like, hey, we want you to advertise, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see it. I see what you're saying, man.
Yeah, that's kind of like what we have to start looking at, man, because like just working in corporate America for the next 20, we're not going to get ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how are you going to get ahead if your house is like $1 million, $1,200,000? That's
You're
like
not.
exactly.
You're not. Yeah. And is it worth it? At the end of the day, is it worth it? Is buying this $1 million home, is it going to be worth it?
You know what they're not taking into account of those property taxes.
Yeah.
Like out here, property taxes, I think is like, in certain areas like 2 or almost approaching 3%. So imagine you have $1 million home. That's like 20,000 in just property taxes every year. That's about what you're paying for rent, ain't it?
20,000.
Break it down. So it's about like 18, probably 17, 1,800.
Yeah, I'm paying
20,000 divided by 12.
20.
Okay, about 1,700.
Yeah, no, I pay what I pay.
But do you and your sister split that in half?
Yeah, we split it.
Okay, so yeah,
still, it's the idea of
right.
Because my mom used to always say like, y'all could own a home.
Yeah,
for the money you're spending, y'all could own a home.
Right.
And it's like, damn, man.
But like on $1 million home, that's just the property taxes. I've heard like a lot of millennials, they're actually like they're grouping up with their buddies or whatever, and they're buying a home together. So
yeah, like 5, 6 people.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's kind of smart, but at my age, I don't think I could do it. You know what I mean?
You couldn't have roommates at your age?
Right. That's crazy, ain't it?
I couldn't do it.
No.
Like I've had people approach me and it's like, hey, you want me roommates? Like, no, I enjoy my privacy too much. I enjoy like I understand like as humans we're social creatures, but there's a certain degree of social that I'll give, like working. When I had to go to the office, it was like, okay, 9 to 5, that's my social hour. And then after that, driving home, no longer social. Become introverted, play games or be by myself or whatever. But just take that time to recharge. And with roommates, you don't really have that luxury.
Exactly. And plus, if you people have problems just having a roommate in terms of renting. Like, okay, after a year, I don't like this person. So imagine y'all have a house together. Y'all are stuck.
Yeah. Dang.
So.
Oh, and then you got your friends and they got their friends, and and they throwing a party and you trying to sleep and you throwing a party and they trying to, yeah, man.
And y'all can't just you can't be like, oh, I'm sick of this, I'm out of here. That's your house.
Yeah, unless you leave to go to Airbnb or something. I don't know.
Right.
Wow.
So.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy the times we're in. Are you tethered to LA, or would you consider
It's not that I'm tethered to LA.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I kind of am, just because all my family is here, right? And I just can't see myself I can't see myself moving.
Family.
Yeah, I can't see myself moving. I think that's the big anchor that's kind of keeping me here.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think in your case, you really need to we really need to hustle, man, so you can buy you a house.
To get financially free. Yeah, man. Yeah. Because one thing that I heard, one thing that I've heard is I've talked to other developers and they'll say, okay, at 1 year of experience, I was making this much. At 2 years, I was making this much. At 3 years, I was making this much. And I'm looking at their numbers. I'm looking at my numbers, and we're totally apples and oranges. We're not the same.
Yeah,
and, that's one thing that sort of sparked the whole okay, let me step my game up. Let me start replying to some of these recruiters and stuff, because if they're playing the same game and they're up here and I'm still here,
right?
I want to get there, but not so much. I'm asking myself, why do I want to get there? And it's because if I want to be able to buy a home, if I want to support a family, if I want to be able to retire and live comfortably, I got to start saving more and more.
Exactly.
It's one thing to be able to put aside, $500 every 2 weeks or whatever, but what if that 500 could be 1,200? What if that 1,200 could be 16 or whatever?
Right.
So. If thing.
You don't want to only be able to save an amount to where your savings just get wiped out. Oh, my car needs repairs, money gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. I'm not gonna lie. That's one reason that I've put off certain if a light comes on in my car, okay, I'm gonna just ride until until my car says hey, stop.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, you definitely need to get that other job, man. No, there's no point in you doing the same job where you could get paid 20, 30, 40,000 more doing the exact same thing you're doing now. It's just a lot of people, they just get comfortable at the same place. They don't get aggressive. I need to be paid my worth.
Yeah. But it's the difference is, and I think the difference is this, where it's okay, I've broken into the industry, I've made it, but I have no sense of direction.
Yeah.
Right. And I think a lot of people lack that sense of direction of, okay, I'm here now. Do I stay and work the corporate ladder and climb, and expect to make, X, Y, Z and ABC, or do I jump ship? And even then, you're still looking for that sense of direction. But if you ask within the company that you're currently at, they're going to keep you they're going to pay you enough just to keep you satisfied.
Yeah.
And I've learned that it's okay, they'll keep you around just to keep you around. And then in the meantime, you'll have all these other people knocking on your door and you're okay, well, what do I do? Do I stay where I'm at or do I jump ship?
You better get out of there, man.
That's the predicament that I put myself inside of. Some people might think well, it's a no-brainer, just jump ship.
Oh man, if you stay where you're at, bro, you're gonna end up in poverty, man. Because
yeah, I'll get bought out, not bought out, but I'll get priced out.
Right, there's one you know, emergency away, like, oh, my car broke down, or, you know, you got to go to the hospital. That's just going to wipe your savings out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
stay
we're
healthy.
we're in a place where we can't stay complacent. You know what I mean? Like we just got to go get it, man. And that's like even in terms of this, man. You know, I hope this really blooms, because this will be our opportunity to untie our finances from, you know,
from the
per hour.
It's like, you don't. I'm gonna say this, and I heard this from somebody else, and I'm surprised I even had to be reminded of this. Like, they said, like, don't lose that drive, don't lose that hustle.
Right.
And like, as African Americans, and even just not even African Americans, but like as minorities, right? Like it's almost like the culture is built on hustle, and and just going and getting it, and like I've recently started relearning React, and I can't believe how much I've forgotten in the past 2 years or whatever. Like, and you know, you told me one day, you're like, man, you used to know it. I don't know what happened. And well, it's just because I lost my hunger. Like, if you're satisfied, you just lose that edge. And once you lose that edge, it's just that gap. It's that gap. It's the gap of, okay, here's where I am. And as you lose that hustle, then it's almost like that next step is here, and you lose that hustle, and it just ended up like this. And the gap just got wider.
Yeah.
Wider and wider.
Man, that's the thing. You know, a lot of people don't realize about this industry is like, if you're not on it, if you're not constantly learning, you can easily be typecast into a certain role, and you're just stuck there. Like, you know, I know you were in a similar position, and I kind of told you, hey, don't take that job. Like, you got to interview for a QA position.
Yeah. I did.
Yeah, it paid more, but the thing is, once you get into that and work there a year, you're stuck.
Yeah.
And I seen an interesting story on LinkedIn. This girl, she had actually got on at a company, and like promising her a software developer role, or, you know, hinting at that. But like a month in, while she was working there, she said they tried to push her into testing, and she ended up quitting. You know, a lot of people might think, oh, you made it in the industry, why don't you just stay at that role? Because Cass says that it's hard to get out, and she wants to be a developer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it kind of ties into the sexism thing at times, where, you know, to me, sometimes it seems like they push women into QA roles.
Yeah, it's almost like, and I've never understood that. And I've met female QA testers, and they're good at what they do. They're smart, they're bright, and they can poke holes in code all day, and you know, and some people just love it. But if your passion is to develop, and you get offered a QA role, it's like, just because you're
on the job.
Like, it just, I wouldn't jump at it. I've made the mistake of jumping at it, and it was a completely different environment than what I'm used to. Like, a lot of the questions that I got asked just I didn't know the answers to. But I would say, like, you know what I know what I want, and I'd rather go towards that versus settling for something else, anything that just lands on my plate. You there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kind of like froze up, and now I'm back.
Yeah.
But man, like, you know, it's kind of like acting as well, man. Think of Jaleel White. You know, people don't even really call him by his real name. He's Steve Urkel. You know what I mean? Like, once you get frozen in this one particular role, you could get stuck there. And that's not a good thing. One of my homeboys, he's kind of in a messed up situation. Like, he joined the company I was working at a little bit after me. I trained him up in a little bit, but they had a hard time finding a role for him, so they kind of put him into like some DevOps, or, you know, some content management type of role where you just like edit the JSON file and update the homepage or whatever. Yeah, he was stuck in that, and they were paying him like like 45,000 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't live on that.
No, so, that's really below me.
Yeah. And he was trying to get out of it, and he was applying to all these other companies, but they would tell him like, you don't have
Kevin, breaking up
because some light DevOps work. But this is what's really messed up. So his current project ends with the with whatever he's doing, and another manager offers him, at that company, they offered to bring him on to that's actually like doing React development, and this was going to pay from 75 to 85K, so it'd be like a 40K jump. But his current manager,
Kevin,
for new projects. I got something here for you, So they tried to keep him at that 45K.
Yeah,
and
Kevin, you're breaking up.
Yeah. And you heard? You hear me?
Yeah, you're kind of coming in and out.
Okay. There must be something.
Here, let me
Can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah. Hello?
Hello.
Okay. All right. I think you're breaking up again. Okay. Now you're back. I think you're.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with this. They probably want to get the paid version.
Yeah. Maybe when we hit that hour mark, it just starts freaking out. All right. But no, go back to what you were saying about the guy who was working.
Yeah, he was. They put him in like a DevOps role, or like a DevOps / content management role.
Yeah,
and he was doing that for a while. I think they let him do an Angular project for a little while, like a month or two, but then they kind of put him back on that DevOps / content management stuff. So, he wanted to get out of that because he's just getting paid 45K. That's not enough. And he wants to do development, but all the companies he applied to, they're like, you don't have enough experience. So he kind of got stuck there. Yeah. But interestingly enough, his project ended, and another manager at the same company said, hey, we want to bring you onto this other project. It pays like 75 to 85K. So he had the opportunity right there to get a 40K jump.
Right.
But what happened was his current manager was like, hey, why are you looking for new projects? We got one here for you. And he blocked him from going to the other project. So his current manager is keeping him at,
they're keeping him,
45K.
Keeping him satisfied. Yeah.
And he was going to go to HR, but he tried to log into his profile, and he found it was disabled. So, when you go to a new company, what do they call new programmers? They call them resources, right? We got a new resource.
I never thought about that.
At that point, you're not even human. You're something to be used at a certain cost and discarded.
Yeah.
So, your goal.
You're breaking up again.
You hear me?
Your goal is what?
So your goal is to make them pay you as much as they can for that resource, which is you. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. My dad calls it my value is my brain.
Like
that's what they pay you for. And,
bro, if you pass away tomorrow, they might be. They might say, "Oh man, that's sad." That have your job posted right up the next day.
Yeah. That's with anything, not just tech. That's with anything.
Exactly.
You are replaceable. And I had to have somebody tell me that, like, straight up. It was like, look, your company will be fine without you. You are replaceable. Like they'll miss you. They might be bumpy for a little bit, but it's not like it's the end of the world.
Right. And, if you leave, everybody's starving.
Right. So like that's the type of mentality that I had to sort of adopt. It's like, okay, you know what, like I don't feel bad for applying to these positions or looking for something different or whatever. Yep. Like I'm just it's just my own personal time to sort of grow and stuff. Like that's how I see it now versus oh man, I feel bad, like I'm doing this behind so and so's back or XYZ.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's on their personal journey. We might be working together, but before I was on my own journey, and I'm going to be on my own journey afterwards. Like we just come together and work towards a common goal. But after that, we're individuals.
How many of your previous bosses and coworkers, how many of them check up on you after you leave? Not that many.
No.
Once you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah. You pop up and say hi, and that's it. Even at McDonald's, like sometimes I've been there and I'll see somebody that I used to work with, and oh hey, how are you? Yeah, I'm good. Oh, that's great. Bye, and that's it.
That's it. Like if you have a family emergency or something else, they're not gonna come and say, hey, here's some extra money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would say, you don't want to be bunny hopping from company to company. Like every 2 months you're at a new company, but give them a year's work. You took a chance on me. I gave you a good year of work at a discounted rate, but now I need to get paid what I'm worth. Can y'all match this? I'll stay if y'all match this, but if y'all won't, I gotta go.
Yeah. I think that's the that's what it's about, right? Like keep that hustle, keep that drive, because they hired you for a reason, and don't lose that hustle and drive just because you're satisfied.
Exactly.
And I'm more so speaking towards myself, right? Because that's what I've learned. We're like, okay, I got satisfied. And I took vacations and got experience, but here I am, almost 3 years later, and it's like, okay, the only thing that is like at this point, it's time for me to find a new sandbox to play in. I guess that's the best way to put it. Yeah.
Man, honestly, bro, like
you're breaking up, Kevin.
With me, Did I cut out?
Yeah, you cut out.
Oh, okay. Y'all just saying like if you or I were headed towards poverty. I cut out again?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I was
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because you move or what, but
okay. Y'all just saying if we stay doing what we're doing, not progressing, we're headed towards poverty. Like we got to keep hustling, man.
Yeah. I hear you, man.
I think StreamYard is telling us to get off because things acting up.
Yeah, we hit that hour mark, so we're gonna end it here. Anybody who watches this, like, leave a comment.
Subscribe.
Leave a comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. We promise that the quality will improve as we keep streaming, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
But on that note, peace.
Later.